I had the most amazing dream last night. I was free!
Just over 4 weeks ago, I was out in the centre of Edinburgh going for a run. I had a fall on Lothian Road and I sprained my ankle quite badly. I managed to get a taxi to take me home, but that's been the start of a long period of injury for me. And during the last 4 weeks, I've noticed that my mobile phone use has gone through the roof. The other thing I've noticed is that it's making me miserable. One of the things that really makes me happy is being by myself out in nature. So this morning I've come down to Portobello Beach for sunrise.
Getting up early to go filming is the perfect antidote to dealing with my miserable phone addiction. It's one of the few times where I don't feel compelled to itch the insatiable itch of mindless scrolling. But why is it that this inanimate object has such a stranglehold over me? Why can't I just leave it alone and enjoy the moment without having to resort to seeing what's new, to checking notifications on platforms I don't really care about? What can I do to break this addiction? I resisted getting a new phone until I'd run my last one into the ground, but when the time came for an upgrade, I have to admit I was genuinely excited. I wanted to get the new iPhone 11 Pro, the reason being these 3 lenses on the front here. I take a lot of photos, and over the years I've caught many precious moments simply because I've had my phone in my pocket. As the old saying goes, the best camera to have is the one that you have with you. And the camera functions for both photo and video are really impressive on this phone, and I do use them all the time. The other thing I find incredibly useful about my phone is the notes tool, and I write down all of my thoughts and ideas on this. I'd be genuinely lost without it. If I could keep these 2 functions, I would gladly get rid of everything else on my phone. I'm not shy to admit that I have 2 crippling addictions, Diet Coke and my phone. My Diet Coke addiction is probably more under control now than it ever has been. A couple of years ago, I reached a point where I was drinking 6 cans a day. I don't totally abstain now, but I drink way more water than I used to. But my mobile phone use has been a problem for a while.
Okie dokie! What a beautiful day! Yes! It's Monday morning and I am just on my way down to North Berwick. North Berwick is a wee coastal town about 45 minutes east of Edinburgh. And I'm doing some filming down there for a client today. Let's go to North Berwick! I really want to try and understand why I have this compulsion to always check my phone. I know I'm not the only person that experiences this, but I often find myself checking my phone, looking at what might be new, putting it away, and then less than a minute doing exactly the same thing again. It's almost as if I've forgotten that I've just checked my phone and nothing is new. And it's a horrible feeling, and I wish I didn't do it. And I think my mobile phone use is really tied into my injury, and because I'm not running, because I'm not getting as much exercise, I'm sat down a lot more, and therefore the natural thing to do is to grab my phone. So instead of exercising, I think it's more important for me to get out into nature. And when I come to places like this, or go down to Portobello Beach, I don't have that strange compulsion to check my phone. I don't feel the need to see what's new and what's going on my phone. I can experience just being out here surrounded by these beautiful landscapes, these beautiful environments, and that compulsion to check my phone just seems to go away. It's the perfect digital detox and a reminder of what's important.
It's not a coincidence that the way to refresh the content on your phone is to pull your thumb down in a similar manner to a slot machine. And nor is it a coincidence that the predominant notification colour on your phone is red. It has high visibility and is often associated with warning signs. So these 2 factors strongly affect the dopamine receptors in our brain. It's no wonder we become addicted. In the past, TV programs would just end, a sign that what you'd watched had just finished, and you might like to consider going and doing something different.
It's over. Go home.
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter all have an endless feed and requires the user to stop interacting when they've had enough. There's no cue to stop. And YouTube, Netflix, and Amazon Prime will often promote the next thing for you to watch, even before you finish watching. There's literally no time to process what you've just watched before the next one starts. Without being aware of this, it's only too easy to get sucked into the never-ending viewing and scrolling vortex. So what can you do to control this? Well, in my case, the first thing I had to do was acknowledge that I had a problem. Once I'd done this, I became far more conscious of my own phone use and the times and triggers when I'd use it the most. Having done this, I implemented the following. Weekends are the time when I was feeling most frustrated by my phone use, and I acknowledged there was really no justification for me using my phone as much as I was. I've now adopted airplane mode weekends, which means that for 2 days a week, my phone is pretty much out of bounds. I can still take photos and I can still write notes, however. This cold turkey approach was a bit of a shock to the system at first, however I do find I'm a lot happier now at the weekends. I deleted Facebook from my phone over a year ago. I've now taken the decision to remove Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. I still use these platforms, but by not having them on my phone use has gone down significantly. I keep my phone on black and white or grayscale mode by default, which makes it far less appealing and stimulating. It's a bit of an adjustment at first, but it can be toggled on and off in the color filter settings on an iPhone. I've just changed my phone, so now that the only notification I have is if it rings, all other notifications are switched off. So in theory, my phone should never distract me. If I ever find myself binging on my phone, it's usually a sign that I need to get outside more. Go out into nature, and if possible, leave your phone behind. Digital detoxes are important. These are all steps that I've taken recently, so I'm very much a work in progress. But if you'd like to see more of my videos on the themes of productivity, fitness, and creativity, then do hit the subscribe button. If you do that, I will see you in the next video.